Hey everyone, before this podcast, real little weird bit of info. I don't know why, but me and Lizzy forgot to record chapters 16 and 17. And we're already, at the time when I'm editing this and recording this little pre-message, we're already in Deathly Hallows, or we're just about to start Deathly Hallows. And we're not going to go back and record this. I am so sorry. I don't know why we didn't record those at the time. I was looking for those. I was looking for the file for like hours. And I'm like, there's no way we recorded 2 chapters just like at a random day. So I think we just totally forgot or like miscalculated where we were in the books or something like that. So I'm very sorry about that. We didn't discuss the 4 champions and the Goblet of Fire chapters, which are great chapters in this, but I think we'll all live. So I'm sorry. But these are... the title is probably a little misleading of this podcast, so I just want to apologize up front, but I hope you still enjoy this podcast. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Jon.
And I'm Lizzy.
And this is Harry Potter and the First Time Readers. Second time readers. Second time reader. All right, so we are on we're going to try to do like 4, 5-ish chapters right now. We're on chapter 18, which is the Weighing of the Wands. Summary of this chapter.
It's all you. That is your responsibility.
Harry gets chosen, and then with the 3 other champions, so it's the 4 champions now. With the other champions, they have this wand ceremony with Ollivander, who is like the British master of wands, and he inspects all their wands. And while he's inspecting their wands, Rita Skeeter comes and interviews them and interviews Harry and kind of like skews a lot of what Harry says, which we'll find out later. But the weighing of the wands, like it's like about wand lore and about what their wands can do, the cores, different wand makers. It's interesting.
Why are they weighing them? Just to like make sure they're not jinxed or something? Or that they're functioning?
Probably. Yeah. It's probably like a ceremonial thing. Like they're definitely weighing it because of maybe like the traditions way back when they had to weigh the wands because they had to make sure like they were up to par on speed. But now it's probably just like a formality. Like they just want to make sure they're in working order because they're going to do these crazy tasks like take down a dragon. And if their wand isn't working properly, then they're going to die.
There's so much cheating in the Triwizard thing. I feel like I would expect them to just like, he'd just break one and be like, oops, no new wand.
Ollivander? You expect Ollivander to do that?
No.
Ollivander seems like a pure soul to me.
Yeah, I don't think Ollivander would ever break a wand just on principle.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like respecting.
Interesting. Do you think that Ollivander is the best wand maker out there?
Sure. In my book.
He's the only one that we know.
Is he? Yeah, he wins just for being the only one that
we actually
know.
In this chapter we are introduced to another wand maker called Grigorovich, who is the maker of Crumb's wand. We don't know who made Floor's wand. Wes.
Grigorovich sounds familiar for something else. Is that a thing?
You're probably thinking of Gorgovich, which is a Quidditch player.
Yeah, probably.
You've memorized all your Quidditch players.
Yikes.
But okay, so there's all sorts of different wand cores. You probably don't remember what all the wand cores are, but do you remember what Floors wand cores?
Her mom or her grandma's hair?
Yeah, isn't that so weird?
Yeah, that's
it's
really
Vila
weird.
hair, which is a temperamental substance according to Ollivander.
I don't know if I like that. That's really weird.
What would you want in your wand?
I don't remember all like the magic associated with them because there's a unicorn tail.
Yeah.
Phoenix
and dragon heartstring.
That's right. I don't know.
I think it's just like what sounds coolest to you? What would you want?
Probably the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix is pretty cool. I always think dragon heartstring would be pretty cool too.
Because it has a heart in it, and you're a Hufflepuff.
I don't even know what that is though. Wow, that was real meta. What is a heartstring?
I don't know. Like something tugs on your heartstrings. Ollivander's tugging your heartstrings right out of you. I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably like some aspect of your emotional qualities that hold you together.
I like it.
Maybe it's your moral fiber. It's like a fiber.
Like substantially, what is your moral fiber? It has to exist because it has to be in the core of a wand. It's what?
It's a heartstring.
Okay.
How many strings are there in a heart?
Well, that's something that's interesting too, because there's phoenix feathers. They like reproduce, so it's like they can give those up anytime. Same thing with unicorn tail. Like they can just go pluck those anytime. They're hard to get, but they can pluck them. For a dragon heart string, you got to kill that thing. Unless you're like, performing open heart surgery on a dragon real quick so you can obtain one of the strings and then you close it back up.
This is saying the dragon goes to the dark arts the fastest.
The dragon heartstring goes to the dark arts? I don't. Is
that you?
Yes.
You still stand by that?
Yeah, absolutely. I still think it's a cool list. I think I don't know why, but I still think it's kind of the coolest. I haven't given it a ton of thought. But I remember when I was reading this for the first time, or not even for the first time, for like the 10th time, I still love these parts because the wand lore in it is so fascinating to me. And like what Ollivander does, I would love to go be a wand maker in the wizarding world. That'd be a fun job. But is there something in the wizarding world right now that appeals to you most? Like, would you want to be a teacher? Would you want to be like a magizoologist? Or like...
I think you asked me this last time and I said like a robe maker.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think so.
And I think I also said doing the animals. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I did ask you this.
Being a professor.
I'll probably ask you this like 20 more times. So
I would probably be a professor or a robe maker.
I like it.
Create some new fashions for Rita.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
She is crazy.
What do you think about Rita?
Okay. I understand that you want to go against the grain, that you want to like have the headlines, but she drives me nuts. Like, I do not like the way she words her articles. I feel like she's skewing them way too hard. But I get what she's trying to do, and I feel like it's not even that far off. Like, I feel like she's almost an average journalist in a way. Like, you find that in the news sometimes. I'm like, okay. But I don't know, like, she's not bad at her job. I just don't like the extremes that she goes to.
What extremes is she going to?
She just, well, she makes stuff up. Like, this quill thing is not accurate at all. It just writes whatever it wants to write. That I don't like, because when you're just making up lies, I don't like that. You can't misquote people.
For sure. You can't misquote people. I'm 100% there with you on that. As far as a journalist is concerned, do you think that they have any kind of, what is the difference? Maybe the moral question here is she's doing journalism, so maybe this isn't a moral conundrum. But is there any leeway for dramatic storytelling in journalism? Because she's appealing to her audience when she's writing these things.
Well, what kind of journal is the Daily Prophet?
It is like the premier journal. It's like the New York Times.
But like New York Times has different types of things within it. So if if you're saying that her article is like straight up fact, I would say that's like a crime. Like, you can't do that. But then if she's just like, oh, like a popular journal type of thing, I don't know. Go ahead. It's like the People magazine, you know?
I think
she's more People magazine than New York Times to me.
Yeah. So there's a status some writers can attain to when they become incredible writers, that they can write whatever they want to write about and people will read what they write. So there's a few writers that have existed in human history that have been like that. Like, do you know who David Foster Wallace is?
I've heard him.
People would literally hire this dude out, like a cruise ship hired him for a week to just go write a whole essay about him on a cruise ship and what his experience was. They didn't care if it was positive or negative. They were just like, give us an essay on it, because his writing was so funny. His nonfiction was so funny and so good. I feel like that's what Rita Skeeter is kind of doing. She's like commissioned to go write whatever she wants, and she can do whatever she wants because people are going to love what she writes. She's an entertaining writer. So that's a great point of like, what is she actually writing? Is she writing a fact? This sounds weird. Is she writing a fact-based column, or is she writing a column because people love her writing and they just want more of her writing?
Yeah, because I'm sure there's an audience that reads her stuff just because it's like so much drama.
Yep. And even the thing with the David Foster Wallace, people who are closest to him say he wrote this, like, it's like a 25-page essay in Harper's magazine, and they like had to trim it down because it was insane. It was like, we can't publish 25 pages of this essay. So they had to trim it down, but he had the time of his life. He was like going around doing every little thing the cruise ship had to offer, and people who know him best say that was a complete lie. What David probably did was he went into his room and he spent 7 days in his room, not leaving his room once. And they said he probably bunkered down and just came up with this stuff on the top of his head and like talked about all sorts of crazy stuff. So people are like, did he lie through the whole essay? And no one cares because it was his writing. And it was so funny and such good writing that, like, I don't care. I think it's just great.
Are you a fan of Rita then?
Kind of. I think what she's doing is wrong because she does misquote people, which that seems, in her interpersonal relationships with how she does journalism, I think it's wrong. But in how she knows how to tell a story, dude, I am right there behind her.
Cheering her on.
Yeah. She's coming up with freaking clickbait titles. Yeah. She is like hooking me with her writing because she's like a funny writer too. She like knows how to put stuff in there that makes me laugh. Like if a writer can incorporate all those kind of things and give me like details about the Triwizard Tournament. And that's what like David Foster Wallace said. People commissioned him to go to the Republican National Convention when I think like John McCain was running or something. And he just went and wrote about his experience. He loved tennis, so he got commissioned to go to the US Open, and he wrote about his experience there. And the whole essay was about commerce because he was so annoyed by how many ads there were that he just wrote an entire essay about how he's sick of seeing all these ads.
Do you read all these essays?
Yeah, I have like all of his books over there. They're so funny, and his fiction is so boring. I hate his fiction so much, but his nonfiction is hilarious to me.
What really annoyed me about Rita though was she brought Harry into a broom closet and asked him all these like traumatizing 100%. Questions that like relive his past abuse, and I was like, you're gonna do that in a broom closet, which is like he lived under the stairs. It's like the same environment. That was like, I didn't like that at all.
I'm with you on that. Her treatment of people is very poor. How she treats Harry, how she treats all the other champions. She doesn't even like include the other champions in her piece. They're like a side piece. It's like all about Harry. So
but she has a good disposition though. Like she'll walk in a room and is like happy and will take the criticism.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a good writer right there. I love it. I mean, she has some deep-seated issues. Like, again, your point with how she treats Harry is one of the best. She treats him like terrible. But she's a freaking great writer. And I'm buying all of her books. I'm probably buying everything that she's writing, and I'm cutting the clippings out of the News Daily Prophet.
Taping them on your wall.
Yeah.
Staring at them. That's crazy.
What else did you have in this chapter? Any other points before you go on to the next?
I learned that Sprout is the head of Hufflepuff
House, yeah.
Is that actually the first time they said that?
It might have been. It might have been really briefly mentioned in the other one.
Because that was the first time I caught it. And then I was like,
yeah.
So who is Ravenclaw's head? Because I know Snape is Slytherin, McGonagall is Gryffindor.
I don't know if we actually ever find that out, but it's Flitwick. Professor Flitwick, the Charms Professor.
Yeah.
He's the head of Ravenclaw. I don't know if the books ever definitively say that. I remember when I was reading them, I think I remember it saying 3, but I don't remember it saying the 4th. But I think people piece that together that he's the Ravenclaw guy.
So he's really smart.
Yeah. He's actually, Flitwick won an award. He won like the best dueling. He went to like the dueling world championships, and he won the best dueler there.
I was reading about goblins.
What?
And he is part goblin.
Flitwick?
Yeah. He has like
Excuse me?
some goblin in his family lineage. And that's like, I don't know, that impacts his
Why
character.
he's short? Wow, I've never heard that before.
If you look it up on whatever fandom website. Because I was looking into goblins for later reasons, and first of all, they do not look like what I thought they looked like. I
Goblins?
like screamed when I saw it. I almost like spat out my water. So surprised. But yeah, they said he was like part
J.K. Rowling has
goblin.
said on her website, Flitwick has a dash of goblin blood. Wow. That was the first thing that popped up on Google. Is Flitwick? And it said a goblin. Never knew that. Never even thought about that.
Does that like mean anything though to you? Like having studied the series?
It does mean something super significant. No, it goblin and wizard relations have always been very they've butt heads tense. Tense is the word I was looking for. Thank you. They have been very tense because goblins have magic and they won't share it with wizards, and wizards won't share their use of wands and they're like creation of wands with goblins. Goblins can still do magic, and it's the same thing house elves. House elves are actually extraordinary at magic, but they're so discounted because they're so subservient. Some people think they're so subservient to wizards that no one really cares about their magic, but it is actually significantly powerful. It's the same thing as goblins. Goblin magic is very, very powerful, but they're discounted, like severely discounted. So that's interesting that Flitwick, maybe he's like tapping into his goblin side when he's doing these duels. Never knew that. Wow.
It's interesting.
Good research.
Thanks. Hermione, this is where her teeth grow, right?
She shrinks them.
I didn't know her parents were dentists.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't know. That makes sense.
So she had big old buck teeth, and when she got in a fight with, was it Pansy Parkinson or something like that? Where like someone gave her the big beaver teeth curse. And then she went to the hospital wing and she shrunk them. And then the lady who was shrinking them, Madame Pomfrey, was just like, okay, tell me when they're back to the normal size. And she just kept going a little bit too far and they were a little small. So I'm like,
that is so
yeah,
good.
Go get it, Hermione. Go do you.
Like, why wouldn't her parents just fix it for her?
I know. Well, her parents probably would, but she's probably just around the age where she would get braces. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe your parents have like dentistry views on when you should get braces or not. I don't know. It's a great question.
No, Snape is like looking at her teeth and he goes coldly, I see no difference. Hermione let out a whimper. She runs away.
It was so sad.
Like, no. Yeah.
Snape is such a jerk.
I know.
But yeah, this is when I think like Pansy or someone makes her teeth big. And she shrinks them, so good on Hermione.
Wasn't it? It was Malfoy, because like their spells missed each other.
Yeah.
And it was like,
yeah.
I don't think I have anything else on this.
Hate Malfoy. All right, let's do the Hungarian Horde Tale. Do you have a summary of this one?
No.
Well, it's easy.
I'm giving up on summaries.
He battles a Hungarian Horntail.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Actually, time out. This isn't when he battles a Hungarian Horntail, so the chapter is misleading. This is when he learns about the Hungarian Horntail.
Yeah.
The next one is the first task, and that's where he battles the Hungarian Horntail.
Hagrid has a girlfriend. I was like screaming at this. You know, she's a giant, so all good.
Yeah.
Like I think
work.
she's a giant. It'll work. That is so funny though, like Hagrid trying to get dressed up.
I know.
And like
it's so cute.
I know.
I think this one was when he was wearing a lot of cologne, and Harry like walks in, he smells it, and then Hagrid like goes to the bucket or like the big barrel outside and dumps his head in it. Like,
oh, Hagrid.
I know.
He's so lovable.
I know.
But has no idea what's happening.
You don't think Hagrid's good at love?
Is Hagrid good at love? No, I think Hagrid's probably great at love. Like, he's a lover.
Yeah, he is a lover.
Not a fighter.
He's definitely not a good... I don't think he's very smooth. But once you get to know him, he's a good lover.
Yeah, I think Hagrid would be a great boyfriend or husband.
Or husband. Who in this entire book should... Do you think that Hagrid and Madame Maxine are good together? You don't know a ton about Maxine yet. Is it just because they're height that they're good together?
Height is all that matters.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was like this girl was talking to one of her friends. She's like, I dated this guy that was like 6'8". It was the best. And they were like, did you even like him? Did you like the words that were coming out of his mouth? And she's like, he had a duck when he went under the doorway.
That's funny. What was your question? What did you ask?
Do you think
me?
that Maxine and Hagrid would be good together?
I don't see why not. Like, I don't know anything about Maxine.
Yeah.
But she seems cool. And honestly, she seems kind of into him too. Like, she's letting him take her into the Forbidden Forest in the middle of the night.
I know.
Maybe she already knows what's going on back there in the forest and there's other people. But
is she manipulating him?
Is she manipulating him? Like, she knows that he likes her, so she's gonna like figure out
what the tasks are.
I didn't think about that. Nah.
No, I like it. So. We assume people are pure here.
Yeah. I don't know. She doesn't seem manipulative.
Yeah, we just don't know a ton about her right now. She seems like kind of cool.
Didn't she like? Wasn't she dressed up too though? Like.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. It seems genuine.
Yeah.
It's true love. It's fate.
What do you think about... So Hagrid tells Harry to bring his invisibility cloak. Do you think that... What do you think about his invisibility cloak?
I think it's awesome. I think it's good that he has it. Saved his life so many times. He'd probably be expelled if he didn't have his invisibility cloak.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's a little like reckless though for someone else to request that he use it because you're asking him to break the rules.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a little
sketchy. Hagrid, who is a teacher.
Yeah.
So that is 100% a little bit shady in this. But the cloak is a really interesting object to me. There's a few things that he has that are really interesting.
This is when Moody sees through it for the first time too, which is like crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that eye either. It just sees everything.
Yeah. There's a potential thing about the eye that some people think that he wasn't necessarily seeing through the cloak so much as he was seeing some I don't know, ankles or something like that. And he like just pieced together that it was Harry. There's a few different theories, and we'll talk about those theories as we get on because there's like another more important one.
Well, I was saying in one of the episodes that I think he can like read the stars like the centaurs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that theory is true, but that's still kind of how I'm thinking as I'm like going through this. Like he has some bigger information thing that he's gathering.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
Even on Moody too, because Moody was talking about this intruder. So there was an intruder in the very beginning of the books that was trying to keep Moody away. Who do you think is trying to detain Moody?
This is the intruder in his house?
Yeah, this is the intruder in his house.
I thought that was like not real.
So do you think that well, that's the real question in this. Do you think that was just like Moody being freaked out about things? Or, because Moody mentions that in this chapter, do you think that it's actually him being serious about it and there's actually someone who's trying to stop him?
Well, I think it comes up later that there is someone trying to stop him.
Yeah.
which I can't remember that. Oh no, I know that, and I remember having that epiphany, and the epiphany occurred and it left.
It's all right.
Wait, just tell me who it was. Is it
You don't know who it was.
Yeah, I think I do. I guess we'll get to it later. This is so annoying. My own forgetfulness is the bane of my existence. It was like Crouch or someone. Like who? I don't know. I can't.
Crouch?
I don't know.
Are you piecing it together from what you just read?
I'm piecing it together from like the later chapters, if that's what you meant.
Okay. Well, we'll get those. We'll have that
know.
conversation when we get there too. So we'll hold on to this one.
Karkaroff? Is that who it was?
It's a possibility.
That sounds like
Very
a
much a
yes.
possibility.
Am I right?
No, I can tell you right around. You gotta enjoy the book yourself. Are you enjoying this book more?
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm like not insanely obsessed with it,
Yeah.
but it is good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see at the end. I think it's gonna capture you at the end.
Okay.
Anything else in this chapter 19 before we go on to 20?
I don't know. There's just a lot of things about Moody. And like he put everyone in Azkaban.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then he has to just exist with these people.
I know. And
it's like sketchy if Snape is like on good terms.
Yep. How about this? If you were facing a dragon, would you want to know ahead of time that you're facing a dragon, or would you just want to go in blind?
It depends how good I am at magic. If I'm like Hermione level.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I just always want to know.
Really?
Yeah.
How would you defeat a dragon? With all the knowledge that you know about how to defeat dragons.
Which is 0. I don't know. I would pull like I don't know. If it's like breathing fire, I would bring like a shield and like shoot it back at it. I don't even know. Like I would try to injure it, I guess.
Okay.
But they're just trying to get the egg. They're not even. So I was like, maybe you can just be sneaky, like, and calm.
Yeah.
Can you just pet it? Well, can you get it? Can I get it to love me?
That's 100% how you would get it to do. You would like grab it, start petting it,
like,
put it on your lap. Yeah. Get over here.
It's like Buckbeak. You have to bow.
Yeah.
You know, be respectful.
That thing would be running away from you by the end because it wouldn't want to snuggle with you, and if you're running, you're like, no, get over here, and then you just grab the egg and you're good.
I wouldn't want to have seen what Harry saw. Like if someone told me, oh, there's a dragon, that's very different from seeing like Charlie Weasley not be able to control it. And there's like a ton of wizards, because that is just like, that's really daunting. It's
ridiculous too, because they say, like no one's going to die in this tournament. And then the first task they have are a dragon for each of the students.
Yeah.
That 20 of these wizards can't detain this dragon. You're like, okay, yeah, this is going to work great. No one's going to die, sure.
I don't get it. And also, is that even a good judge of your wizarding abilities? Like, do they learn that in class?
No, but I think it kind of is. The task, I think, is absurd. I think they could have done this with a much lesser animal. Than a freaking dragon. Like, that's absurd. There's different classes of animals, and they could have done it with a lesser classed animal. Like a hippogriff actually would have been, hippogriff maybe too easy or something like that. But some animal that would be a little bit easier. Like, honestly, something that I would maybe do is like, unicorns are notoriously difficult to catch. I'd say like, we'll put a unicorn in a pen and you have to catch it or something like that.
It's like the greased pig thing.
Yeah, yeah, for real. But this one, I feel like it does kind of gauge their magical abilities good because it's supposed to gauge their ability to think on the fly, which they have to do that, but everyone's cheating, so everyone knows they're going to face dragons. So they're all prepped for this, but like it does still, there's not a ton of spells that can take down a dragon. So it does count on their research, like what they actually do. Because I think Crumb, or does it, I think Cedric is the one that transfigures like a rock into a dog, and it goes and like tries to eat the dog, and then it distracts him, and so he tries to go get the I think that was Cedric. That might have been a Crumb. But they do interesting things, interesting magic to try to get the egg.
Having the firebolt felt illegal.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that.
And I was surprised that it wasn't a thing to everyone. Like, oh, like I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. It was just like a little shady because like he's just like, leaving it out in the perfect spot for him to just say Accio, and then his broomstick comes to him.
Yeah, that was a little cheap.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. This is we'll talk about the other task too, but anything else in 19 before we hit the actual task, which we'll talk about. We're probably already talking about it, but
I mean, Ron and Harry's fight starts.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. But that continues to the other chapters too, so.
Yeah. That one hurts because you're like, Harry doesn't have anyone on the side except for Hermione right now, and he needs like Ron's support because Ron's maybe not more loyal than Hermione, but I think they're like better friends at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's a freaking idiot. Ryan's a doofus. All right, the first task is when they complete the first task. It's pretty much the entire summary. They each get a dragon, and they're supposed to face off against this dragon and get an egg.
Crazy. I thought like there was a maze. I feel like I remember this being a maze, but then I was like, maybe I'm just auto-correcting it to like How to Train Your Dragon. And they definitely have like things to hide behind. So I think that was happening in my mind.
So you think a maze is involved in this?
No, I was just like expecting that from my foggy memories of this.
What chapter did you read up to? Did you get to the second task yet?
I read up. Yeah, I did. That. Yeah, I did.
We'll get there.
Yep. I read up till when Padfoot talks to him in the cave.
Okay.
That was the chapter I ended on.
Honestly, fighting a dragon in a maze, that's actually not a bad strategy to defeat the dragon. Like you should be able to like call up, like make something grow super fast, really quick, make like hedges grow really quick.
What about that plant that wraps around you?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You should do that.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Or like build a gate. Can you just like make a gate appear, like a cage, a wall?
Wow. Look at you come up with
the
these
ground,
great strategies.
have a giant hole that it falls in.
Dang.
Can you not just Accio the egg itself?
Yeah, I know. I thought of that too. They probably put some kind of enchantment that you can't just do that. It's like almost too easy. It's and Harry Potter walks into the arena, Accio egg, and Harry Potter is done with the task.
10 points.
Yeah, he only gets 10 points for it too. Huh, interesting. I like the maze idea. That'd be a good task if they did a task that was in like a maze.
Is that in a Harry Potter at all?
I don't know where you're thinking that.
Because in my mind, it's like definitely a big part of it. Like they're all in this maze. They have to go. There's like something in the way, and then like they all use their own little thing to get past it.
It's definitely How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh no, it's probably like multiple movies that I've seen. But yeah, maybe they should make that a thing, like
I know.
a challenge.
Well,
in Universal or something.
Ooh, that'd be a good idea. So you don't even know what you were on the second task. You don't know what the third task is. What do you think the third task is going to be? Third task would be a cool maze.
I don't know. I can't even remember because I knew it was going to be a dragon, and then I remembered them all being in the lake.
Yeah.
So like I knew it was something like that. I can't even guess. Like what the
Lizzy's
third one
memory,
be.
everyone.
It's so bad. There's just too much stuff fighting for my brain space.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I love it.
Harry Potter gets pushed aside. But like if I looked at the chapter pictures, I could probably remember.
No, don't look at the chapter pictures. That's cheating.
But I don't even have the cover.
All right, I don't even know what the. Let me look this up real quick.
Well, they have been pretty telltale for the other ones, so.
Chapter art.
I'm trying to think.
It won't be a giveaway if you look at the chapter art.
Okay.
It's actually one of the weirdest chapter arts that there is.
What
It's
chapter do I look at?
Just look at the third task,
Veritas.
which is 4 chapters from where we ended.
I'm like trying to. Oh. Hello?
Little lion?
Little lion lady? That looks like a normal face. Okay.
Don't even guess. We'll get there when we get there. Because you're going to have no idea.
Egypt, lions.
You're going to have no
Lions
idea.
and tigers and bears. What else happens in this chapter?
Bagman is obsessed with Harry. He's trying to help him out with all of his tasks. What do you think about Bagman?
I do not like that. I think Bagman put his name in.
Whoa, interesting.
That's my prediction. And I think he's helping him to cover up. And I genuinely think at this point he's like, all right, Harry can't lose. So if I help him, it's like I help him and then my conscience is clean. Or like my name is clean. But I feel like he put his name in.
Oof. Yeah, I was gonna say, who are your top suspects for that? Bagman, you think? So you think Bagman is shady?
Yeah.
Like he's not putting his name in for like good reasons, for eternal glory, or like to get money or anything like that.
I think I don't know why he wants to kill Harry, but I feel like he's doing it to get rid of him. Maybe he's a Death Eater or something.
Ooh, ouch.
Because he was at the Quidditch thing.
Yeah.
And then
kind of just didn't see him. And he's like jumping out of nowhere, running back into this thing, could be acting like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. And then Winky
Lizzy
says he's bad. So that's what did it for me. Because I was like, if Winky knows something, maybe. This is the thing. I thought Bagman imperioused Winky to do the dark mark. And that's why Winky has so many bad things to say, but doesn't say them. And she won't say bad things about Crouch either because Crouch fired Winky as like a front.
Wow.
So Winky still likes Crouch because Crouch is fine, but she knows Bagman is bad because he imperioused her to do the mark. That's my theory.
All right.
Do you get it?
It's a fascinating theory. We'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, that's interesting. Winky, what do you think of Winky? Do you like Winky?
Winky's fine. I don't mind. She's
Winky,
chilling.
She's not hiding any secrets. Crouch isn't hiding any secrets. What about Moody? Is Moody hiding secrets? Snape?
I think they probably all are. I don't know. They're all having things going for them and things against them right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know what judgments to make about them.
Yeah, it was Cedric. Cedric was the one that sacrificed the Labrador. He transfigured a rock into a Labrador and sent the Labrador the other way. If I saw a champion do that, I'd be like, you're disqualified. Like, let's put you in prison. That's terrible. Sacrificing an animal like that. I know. It is a little wild. But he transfigured a rock, so I guess it's a little bit better because it's just a rock running around.
But didn't you say that that's like a real dog somewhere in the world that just becomes that dog there?
No, it's not like soul transportation. But it's I don't think it's soul creation, but we've gotten, actually, remember I did research on this, but I forgot what it was. I remember the reverse of it when they talk about when they're transforming animals into objects. Those animals then just go into non-existence, which is the ethics of that are
questionable.
Yeah, severely questionable. I don't know what it's like when you're transforming a rock into a Labrador, if that Labrador has a soul. Or like what that Labrador is.
It's a husk.
Yeah. It's just a rock running around. It just looks like one.
That is so weird. Well, it makes me feel better if he doesn't have a soul.
Yeah. Let's just say he doesn't.
Okay.
He's just a rock running around that looks like a Labrador that can move.
We'll go with that.
Okay, chapter 21 is the House Elf Liberation Front.
Wait, McGonagall says this. She goes, last year Dementors, this year dragons. What are they going to bring into this school next? You're very lucky. This is quite shallow, blah, blah, blah. So what are they going to bring into the school next?
You're asking me?
Yes. Because like the next book, I'm assuming that is like a foreshadowing of there's something.
Oh, the next book is they bring something dreadful. Maybe the worst thing that's ever been brought into the castle, they bring into the castle.
Is it Umbridge?
Yeah. That's who I remember saying. Nice, you remember. You remember because she's just awful.
Yeah. And I remember she brings more Dementors too, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
She brings a horde of them.
So
nice. Look at that memory firing on all cylinders.
I caught that one.
Yeah, that was a good catch. I've actually never caught that.
Nice.
That is like cool foreshadowing. What else are they going to bring in the castle? And in the next book, they bring this evil beast into the castle by the name of Dolores Umbridge. Okay, the House Elf Liberation Front. Hermione is on a mission to liberate house elves, and Ron keeps making fun of her. But they call it the House Elf. Ron calls it the House Elf Liberation Front, and Hermione calls it the Society for the Promotion of Elvish Welfare, or SPEW for short.
I don't know if this is just my own superficialness. Is that a word?
Yeah.
But if I was with Hermione and she started doing this, I would just start distancing myself. This is so crazy.
Really?
Yeah, like I can't. It's too much. She's doing too much.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, this is a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
Just chill out.
Relax.
I'm just going to go leave you alone for like the rest of this year.
You can do your own thing for a little bit, Hermione.
Do a little unfriending there. But, good for her, I guess.
She's passionate about, what she's passionate about.
I still think it's up to the elf to decide. I don't think we should just like free them all.
It is a human history fascinating level of a question for what we do with people in those situations. I do not know.
The freedom of choice.
Yeah, the freedom of choice is easy in certain situations, but in this one it's not.
In the situation of house elves in general?
Yeah. Well, yeah, in the situation of house elves. I guess, actually, maybe in the situation of house elves, it is a little bit easier. Because they all seem to be unified around something that they actually all want and desire. But for any other entity, for any other being, I think it would be a little rougher. For humans, it never goes well. If you just leave humans on their own and just let them, this sounds terrible, let them make their own decisions. But I'm saying after like colonization happens and you just get up and leave, governments collapse that way. That's when like anarchy is unleashed. That's when like you get these terrible systems in play. But that's honestly the way it should be to start, and then you like level things out and make things better. But then that's when you get evil dictators that come in. We can talk about the history of this all over the place, but it's a fascinating human history question of what you do in that situation. And with house elves, I think it's a really fascinating discussion.
Well, Ron says, or no. Is this Ron? Dobby says that's not the point of a house elf. Dobby likes work, but he wants to wear clothes. He wants to be paid, Harry Potter. Dobby likes being free.
Yeah.
Like that to me, I don't know. The purpose of a house elf. It's like they're just destined.
But is he brainwashed? That's the real question.
Well, wouldn't he now not be brainwashed? Like
No,
now that he wants to be free?
I think this comes in generational changes. I think for individuals, there is a sense of like I don't know. I think there are other house elves who potentially desire freedom and who aren't necessarily as brainwashed as Dobby. I don't know. That's such an interesting question. Because he's not brainwashed, but like, is a house elf's purpose really to serve? That's the real question that we have to go back to.
Dobby likes freedom, miss, but he isn't wanting too much, miss. He likes work better.
Is that just Dobby or is that all house elves?
I don't know, but when Dobby's given the freedom of choice, he's still choosing work.
Agreed, for sure. That's what he wants to do. So he should be able to do what he wants to do. I completely agreed. But is the next generation of house elves, are they going to want to do work?
I think so. I think it's in their nature.
That is a little wild of a statement.
Why? I just feel that even if there weren't people using them, or if people were still paying them amazing wages, I still feel like they would just do the same thing and work. I think they're just like bred to do it. I don't know. Something's wrong. My morals aren't lining up.
The idea that these creatures are looked down upon is or not looked down upon, but are seemed to be lesser than wizards, is a fascinating question.
Well, wait, did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay. Somebody said, one of the house elves said something like, "Oh, you'd just be a common goblin then."
Yeah.
Which is why I started looking into the whole goblin thing, because goblins are like above house elves. Mm-hmm. But in all things considered, I feel like they're kind of equal in a way. Like everyone can do magic. Everyone is able to like live autonomously and like do their own thing. But Gringotts is run by goblins. The economy is run by goblins, which is a huge power.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if house elves had their revolt, like
they just wouldn't wash clothes anymore. Everyone would walk around smelling like crap.
Everyone would be cold. There'd be no fires. Hogwarts kids starving.
All the rich kids would starve. So that's how you unleash anarchy. There should be some dark wizard who hates rich people so much in the future that all he does is he starts eliminating house elves, and all the rich people start dying because they don't know how to take care of themselves. There's the fan fiction in there somewhere.
I don't think anything would happen to the structure of society if house elves were free. Like, I think it'd just go on. Do your own laundry.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I think Hogwarts would completely crumble if there were no house elves.
You would just pay, like, is there not just like teenagers that need a job?
But how many teenagers are going to want to wash your teenage, like how
to work at Hogwarts? I think a lot would want to work at Hogwarts.
Really?
Dude, I want to be a pizza man. Yes, people want to work at Hogwarts. There's so many odd job things that I would love to experience. I feel like I would totally work at Hogwarts if I had the opportunity.
All right. Interesting. You want to wash all the dirty boys' clothes?
It's a job. Like, it's money.
So, yeah, I guess I could pay house elves to do these kind of things. It's just, they're in a weird conundrum right now.
And Winky doesn't feel good either. She like is really guilty, which makes me sad.
So here's kind of what I equated to. And this is like, I don't know. This is why you just let them make their own decisions, but pay them fair wages for everything. So I think your idea is great, but it reminds me of slavery, and then the Jim Crow laws hit, and then all of a sudden it's slavery guised under something else, which is like the help. And then all of a sudden those people are they're like getting paid for what they do, but they're still seen as subservient to white people. They're still seen as subservient. Like house elves are still seen as subservient to wizards. which is different because this is legitimate, like a different like race of being. And then it's just like, what's the progression after that with house elves? Like, where are they going to go after that? That's what I'm really curious about, is if they all just stopped in a generation serving wizards, what would they do? Would they start their own societies? And if they would start their own societies and they would live in peace with each other, serving each other, then we need to get them doing that as fast as possible rather than serving wizards.
It's like the Lord of the Rings, how all of these different things have their own place in the map.
Yeah. It really is.
They live in the Shire.
That's what it's going to become. So Harry Potter then morphs into Lord of the Rings, which we will soon morph into Lord of the Rings. Anything about the House Elf Liberation Front?
I mean, were we not just talking about that?
Yeah. Anything else, though?
No, but Rita has a grill. She has gold teeth. So I need to see what this girl looks like because I am confused.
She's got bling. Come on. This is another prediction that we get. I'll just mention this briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I arose, I settled myself before it, and I gazed into its crystalline depths. And what do you think I saw gazing back at me? An ugly old bat and outsized specs, Ron muttered under his breath. Harry fought hard to keep his faith. Death, my dears. Pavarti and Lavender both put their hands over their mouth, looking horrified. Yes, said Professor Trelawney, nodding impressively. It comes ever closer. It circles like a vulture, ever lower over the castle. What do you think about that prediction?
I don't know.
We'll see. It just keeps that in the back of your mind. Their death might be circling the castle and might be getting lower and lower and lower. If anybody would die in this book, who do you think it would be?
I don't know. Crumb.
Oh, ouch. That would suck.
Or Karkaroff.
Oh, no. I love Karkaroff. Crockpot.
Yeah, I haven't really listened to the podcast for this book.
That's all right. We call him Crockpot. All right. Chapter 22 is the unexpected task. We'll, okay, so the unexpected task is when they're supposed to ask out a girl.
Yes.
It's a kind of a cute little chapter. It's
I love
funny.
this chapter.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Giggling should be made illegal, Harry thought furiously, as all the girls around Cho started doing it. So funny.
Have you been you're homeschooled. You were homeschooled, so you probably
Whoa, don't share that information. That's my greatest secret.
It's so cool though.
I just go to a very small private school, you know?
Okay. Have you ever been asked out or asked anybody else out?
I have asked people out. I don't think I've really had like someone ask me out.
Really?
Like so people
You've
have
gone after it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. Like people haven't straight up been like, do you want to go out with me?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Is that like a normal thing anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know.
I think it's like a heck of a lot of bravery and courage to do that. Like I like that this is called the unexpected task because Harry would rather have faced a dragon than have to ask a Cho Chang out to the Yule Ball, which I'm like,
crazy.
That's relatable.
I feel like it's funny. I was like, is this actually how it is for people like trying to ask people out? Like, I don't know. I just be bold, you know? I've asked 2 people out and it worked both times.
It worked both times?
I have a 100% success rate.
Wow. You got a good batting average right now.
Yeah. Quit while I'm ahead.
That's actually pretty impressive. I feel like it doesn't always work for people. So if it works for you, then that's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hilarious, one of my favorite quotes ever. It's a long chapter in this, or a long paragraph in this, but Ron goes, or George says, Ron, can we borrow Pigwidgeon? No, he's off delivering a letter, said Ron. Why? Because George wants to invite him to the ball, said Fred sarcastically. Because we want to send a letter, you stupid great prat, said George. Who do you two keep writing to, eh? Said Ron. Nose out, Ron, or I'll burn that for you too, said Fred, waving his hand threateningly. So, you lot got dates for the ball yet? Nope, said Ron. Well, you better hurry up, mate, or all the good ones will have gone, said Fred. Who are you going with then, said Ron. Angelina, said Fred promptly, without a trace of embarrassment. What? Said Ron, taken aback. You've already asked her? Good point, said Fred. He turned his head and called across the room. Oi, Angelina! Angelina, who had been chatting with Alicia Spinett near the fire, looked over at him. What? She called back. Want to come to the ball with me? Angelina gave Fred an appraising sort of look. All right then, she said. And she turned back to Alicia and chatted on with a bit of a grin on her face. There you go, said Fred to Harry and Ron. Piece of cake. Like, that is all time. So what a great move right there. He is such a boss.
That was bold.
I know. Fred and George are who I aspire to be. Bold like them, but just like so confident in themselves. They just do it. I love it so much. Harry asking Cho is hilarious in this chapter too. When he's like trying to get her isolated, trying to get her on her own.
He's like stalking her.
I know. It is a little creepy, to be honest. But that's a fantastic question. What's the difference between creepiness? What's the difference between, so if a guy hits on you, what is the difference between that being creepy versus that being endearing?
The vibe. The general vibe. I don't know. I think it's like if there's any interest on my part, on my side, then it wouldn't be creepy. But if I'm like not interested at all, then it'd be like, this is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's nothing. Sometimes I feel like creepy is just too intense. Like they're just doing too much. They're pushing it. But I don't know. It is like sometimes someone will do a bad job asking you out and then it's still like endearing, you know, and you're like, well, that's nice to know.
It's kind of cute. Yeah. You're like, I know, I like, you're cute. I like know who to avoid now, but like, you know, I don't think anything bad of you. That was cute. But
I don't know. Are girls ever creepy to guys? Do you feel like that? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
Have you been creeped on?
Yes, to answer your question. Girls can be very creepy to guys. But yeah, this was like a fun little chapter. All sorts of little love triangles going, little things happening. Who is your favorite character other than one of the members of the trio here?
Probably it was just Fred who just asked out Angelina, right? Yeah. I like Fred for that.
Yeah, it is
that
great.
Was funny.
Fred and George are so good. They're so cute. All right, well, I don't have too much else in this one. We can keep talking about this with the Yule Ball, which we'll talk about next podcast. But give me your favorites. We can start implementing Hot Tamale Awards a little bit more often now.
Think about these as I read them now.
I know.
Hot Tamale is the hottest person. What is this?
Hot Tamale is, who's like kind of like the hottest. It's like, you know, it's a pretty subjective award. You think it's the hottest, yeah? I'm
going to go Charlie with the dragon.
Oh, yeah. You could just give us the Norwegian Ridgeback. Yeah. Or not the Hungarian Horntail, not the Norwegian Ridgeback. Mm-hmm. Are
you going to pick Rita?
Ooh, I kind of want to pick Rita now. Charlie's a great pick. Wow. I'm going Maxine. Maxime.
Really?
Yeah, it's a hot tamale right there.
That's funny.
Seduce and Hagrid a little bit. Seeing the dragons. That's a euphemism for anything. Who is your favorite character in these chapters?
I was gonna say Hermione, but then I remembered her house elf thing. I don't like that at all. Yeah. And Ron is so annoying.
Yeah, Ron's a jerk.
I might just say Hermione.
Yeah.
Or I'll say Moody. Why
don't you say Harry? Harry defeated a dragon.
I feel like Harry can't be picked as these. All right, Harry.
No, Moody kind of helped him figure out how to defeat the dragon, which is key in this.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I just don't even think of picking Harry as an option because he's just like, that's.
It is called Harry Potter.
Exactly.
You're like, you can't pick the guy that the book is named after. I'll give it to Moody too. I'm with you. It's a good character here.
Mm-hmm.
I like Hagrid too. Hagrid's kind of cute in this. I like how he doesn't really think he's cheating all that much. He like kind of knows that, but he's innocently just showing Harry what's going on with the dragons.
Innocently.
Yeah, in quotes. What's your favorite moment in these chapters?
I like Harry crossing his fingers in his robe pockets when he's asking out Jo.
Really?
Yeah.
I never realized he did that.
What? It's like the cutest thing ever.
Really?
Yeah. Wait. I'll find it for you.
Oh,
He
that's
goes,
kind of adorable.
Wait here, he said to Ron, and he stood up, walked straight up to Parvati and said, Parvati, will you go to the ball with me? This is not show. Parvati went into a fit of giggles. Harry waited for them to subside, his fingers crossed in the pocket of his robes. Yes, all right then. I think that's so nice. Like, he's just so hopeful.
You think that's hopeful?
I mean, that's why you cross your fingers, is it not?
Is he hoping that she says no?
Is he crossing his fingers that she says no? Like, he wants her to say no?
This is his second choice.
Honestly, at this point, he's desperate. He should not have standards anymore.
Let's just say it's cute. Let's just have headcanon that it's a cute moment right there. I like that.
It is for me.
I like it.
Have
you seen Pride and Prejudice?
Yes.
The movie?
Love Pride and Prejudice so much.
The little hand flex thing everyone goes feral for.
Yeah. That's like not that crazy to me.
Yeah, I think that gets overblown.
But it's the thing of that like women and men didn't touch too. So part of that is like huge.
Yeah.
But
it's like, dang.
I don't know. When he's like, Mrs. Darcy, that is like, that's my moment. At the end, I'm like, and her name's Lizzy too.
I know.
So I love that.
Yeah, it is great.
Like watching a movie or reading a book where your name is the main character. I don't know if that's narcissism.
Yeah, no
Dude,
way.
read Jonathan Siegel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Or
what is it? Jonathan Edward Siegel, something like that. I'm like 3/4 of the way through. It's extremely short. My best friend just gave it to me.
Jonathan Livingston Siegel.
Yep.
All right, perfect. I got a book with my name in it. That's a good moment though. I like that. It is like the small little moments like that when you're doing things like asking a pretty girl out and you got your fingers crossed in your robes or something like that. That's cute.
I just feel like I use that to spotlight a moment that we didn't talk about.
Yeah, I like it. I like that though. I like the Fred and George moment, or the Fred moment when he asks Angelina out. That's one of my favorites.
That's good.
I know that's what we just talked about, but it's a great one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on our journey of Harry Potter and the First Time Readers.
See ya.
Peace.